I'm curious to know, yesterday when you sat by the candle for a half hour, as we've spoken about, what did the flame tell you? What was the story that you heard from those beautiful flickering flames? And what did you share with your family? I'm going to tell you soon what I thought. But first, let us say, chapter of Tehillim, to thank God for the miracles of the past and the miracles that He did now and the miracle He's going to do, that we will continue this Hanukkah in the Beis Hamikdash. Chapter 100. And let us give some tzedakah, especially on Hanukkah. Hanukkah is a mitzvah to give extra tzedakah. And while I talk about tzedakah, let me remind you another custom. Hanukkah geld, to give money to children. Now, I should point out we're talking about money. It's not about gifts. The whole concept of giving every night a Hanukkah gift, this is not a Jewish traditional thing. This is coming from the season. December, January season that we give gifts. In Judaism, there was no such a thing. The idea is to give Hanukkah geld, money, to children in particular, and to encourage them to give at least part of this money for charity. Now, if they want to buy themselves some gifts with it, after having given some for charity, go right ahead. But remember, the gifting is a non-Jewish tradition. So, as I asked you before, what did you listen to the Hanukkah menorah last night at the first candle? Tonight, when we have the two candles, I want to share you what I thought yesterday. And I was thinking about the connection between the Yontiv of Hanukkah and the coming of Mashiach. Especially since we know that it says that the Yontiv of Hanukkah will be celebrated even after the coming of Mashiach. Although we'll have the inauguration of the temple, which Hanukkah is to commemorate the inauguration of the past temple, nevertheless, we will still celebrate it because it is an eternal holiday. And that's why we have 8 candles. The 8 days, as we know, the number 8 represents infinity. God created the world in a cycle of 7 days, and the 8 represents above the cycle of finite world. So we have the 8 number itself, which reminds us, indicates us about the connection between Hanukkah and Mashiach, the time of Mashiach. But let's take the word Mashiach in itself. Mashiach, as we know, is spelled in Hebrew, Mem, Shin, Yud, Ches. Now this is an abbreviation for Mem for Madlikin, we light, Shin for Shmoina, 8, Yud, Yemei, days, Ches, Chanukah. Madlikin, Shmoina, Yemei, Chanukah. In the word of Mashiach itself, Mashiach, which is all about light, eternal light. Now we know the game, famous game of Dreidel. The famous Dreidel game. We take the little Dreidel, 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 I made you out of clay, whatever song you sing. There's letters on this Dreidel. The letters that we have is Nun, Gimel, Hey, Shin. I'm not going to discuss with you right now the rules of the game. Go on the internet, you'll find it. Nun, Gimel, Hey, Shin, which stands for Nun, Neis, Gimel, Gadol, Hey, Haya, Shin, Sham, which means a great miracle happened there, referring to the miracle of Hanukkah. Originally, the kids, they were forbidden to study Torah, so they would go into the woods and they would play with some kind of a game in case the Romans came and caught them. They caught them playing, carving and playing with a little wooden toy. So that's a tradition of it. But when we take the letter Nun, Gimel, Hey, Shin, the numerical value of it, Nun is 50, Gimel is 3, Hey is 5, Shin is 300. We come to a total of 358. My dear friends, the exact numerical value as the word Mashiach. Mem, Shin, Yud, Ches is 358. Interesting. Now you're going to ask the question, but what happens with the dreidel from Israel? In Israel, the Israeli dreidels doesn't say Nun, Gimel, Hey, Shin. Sham, the miracle was over there. They say Nun Gimel Hey Poi. The Nes Gadol Hoya Poi, the big miracle happened over here. So how does this correspond to the numerical value of Mashiach? We're missing out 220. So first of all, simple answer is, indeed, Mashiach is not coming from Israel, Mashiach is coming from outside of Israel. So therefore, it is referring to the dreidel of exile. But there's another interesting thing. You know, Israelis like to have everything direct. Nun, Gimel, Hey, Pei is a total of 138. 138 corresponds to the name of Mashiach. The Talmud says, what is the name of Mashiach? Menachem Shmoi. His name is Menachem. Menachem is exactly 138. So friends, Chanukah, Mashiach, synonymous. May it happen today.